They killed Teresa's husband just so they could be together. After achieving their goal, they even successfully got married. But as time passed, the two of them slowly began to grow apart. Teresa became more and more disgusted with Paul's cold and heartless behavior. Taking care of her mother-in-law had all fallen on her shoulders. Meanwhile, after drinking, Paul deliberately started another argument. He came over and brought up the past again. During the fight, they mentioned what happened on the day Camille was killed. Afraid that the truth would be exposed, Paul quickly stepped in to stop her. But Teresa had been holding everything in for too long, and she completely lost control. She forgot that her mother-in-law was still nearby. In the heat of the moment, the two accidentally revealed the truth about what happened that day. After being pushed to the floor, Teresa suddenly remembered her mother-in-law in the bathtub. Obviously, she already knew everything, but Teresa couldn't bring herself to just watch her die. However, this only created a new problem for them. Whenever guests came over, the mother-in-law used the chance to try and write the truth on the table. But after everyone stared at it for a long time, no one could understand what she was trying to say. This left Teresa and Paul extremely anxious, afraid that everything would be exposed. Luckily, they survived another close call. The mother-in-law tried with all her strength, but she still failed. However, her own son had died an unjust death. How could she possibly accept that? One day, while no one was home, she deliberately knocked over the ink. Then she used her cane to slowly write down the truth on the floor. When she heard a neighbor coming over, she desperately tried to get her attention. The neighbor followed the sound upstairs. Just then, a cat suddenly cried out. The frightened neighbor noticed the writing on the floor. After discovering the truth, she immediately ran outside. When Teresa heard the noise and came downstairs, she saw the message on the ground. At that moment, she realized there was no escape, but the mother-in-law simply watched coldly. She watched Teresa fall to her knees. She watched her beg for forgiveness. And this entire scene was witnessed by Paul, who returned home drunk. After realizing everything had been exposed, Paul didn't seem surprised at all. He simply pulled Teresa up in silence, stopping her from begging the mother-in-law. When the neighbor arrived with the police, the house was already empty. It turned out the two of them had taken the mother-in-law to the river. Unable to continue living with the pain, they chose to end their own lives. The mother-in-law sat there expressionlessly. Only when she watched the two of them die from the poison did her expression finally change slightly. When the police arrived at the river, the two of them were lying on the shore as if they were simply asleep. In the end, Teresa and Paul paid the price for their selfish actions.